Hey folks, Levi here once again. Welcome back to another review. Hope you enjoyed my review the other day of Hellboy the Crooked Man, and I hated that movie. If you know my thoughts on that movie, the second reboot of Hellboy, you know, if you know my review on that, just go watch my review of that if you know my opinion on that. And guys, I'm just wearing my Spider-Man shirt because this is a movie about a Spider-Man character. This is the third film in this trilogy that I'm reviewing. Oh guys, remember, my channel's name is Levi McNally 983. Thank you for 348 subs, guys. Just keep on subbing, subscribing, and watching my videos. And you can share your videos, my channel with your friends, family, coworkers. I appreciate it. Being supportive, y'all. Appreciate it. Uh, yeah. Anyway, continuing with my what I call a superhero marathon. What I've been doing on my YouTube channel is a superhero marathon. What I call the 2020s era superhero reviews. These are superhero movies that came out in this decade. Comic book films that came out in this decade, starting with 2020 to 2025. And right now I'm on the year 2024. I got 3 movies to go here. Yep. So guys, I got 6 more movies, and then we'll be getting on to TV shows, superhero TV shows, excuse me, like with DC and Marvel. Yeah, starting with the Arrowverse. But we're gonna finish these reviews first. And it's 3 2024 movies and 3 2025 movies, which makes it 6 movies. Like I said, this is the next movie. This movie came out in October. This film is a sequel to the 2018 film Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage. It is the 5th film in Sony's Spider-Man universe. Yes, the same universe as the first 2 movies, Morbius and Madam Web, which have all sucked. And I'm talking about, of course, Venom: The Last Dance, the best of the trilogy, which I have on Blu-ray. I'm not keeping it. You know, you're probably asking why I have it. Well, first of all, I just watched so I can do this review, but it's too expensive, and I could afford it at the time. But this movie was awful. Yeah, I just said awful. My mind is just, yeah. Thank goodness this is the end of this trilogy. You know, because all these Venom movies, Tom Hardy, they suck. I hate every one of them. No, the best of the no, they're no. I would say the worst is Let There Be Carnage, but this comes definitely in second worst, or the first one. They're just all awful. I don't like any of them. All 3 movies suck. You know, they totally screw up Venom. Yeah, I did not care for the story in this movie. I just did not care for this film at all. Yeah, just another garbage Venom movie, another Sony Spider-Man Universe movie. Thank goodness, I hate to go through another one, but Kraven the Hunter won't be after this, but Kraven the Hunter is the hopefully the last movie they'll ever do. I hope. I don't want to see any more Sony Spider-Man Universe movie. I can't take it no more. No. Anyway, let's get into the movie, shall we? So, with the production of the movie, is that star Tom Hardy stated in August 2018 that he is signed to star in 3 Venom films. September 21st, that means he signed a contract. Hardy noticed that the producers would have to continue to develop Sony Spider-Man universe in future films, but said they were also interested in the crossover with MCU, like Venom the Comics director Andy Serkis expressing interest in returning to direct another Venom film. And don't get me wrong, Andy Serkis is a great actor. He's great as King Kong in the 2005 movie and as Caesar in Planet of the Apes reboot. He's great. He's fantastic in that. And he's worked the Marvel before. He actually does, I think, voices one of the main villain in this movie. Well, a hidden antagonist he voices in this movie. But he directed the first movie. I mean, the first movie. I'm sorry, second film. He directed the second movie. And of course, in Marvel, he played Claw, Ulysses Claw. I can't say it right, but in Avengers: Age of Ultron, Black Panther with like Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, yeah. But he's involved in this movie. And felt there was more to explore with Venom in future films before the character could meet Spider-Man in future crossover films, including for the Ravencroft Institute and potential villains being held there. In October, Tom Holland said he and producer Amy Fischel had discussed the potential of exploring his MC role as Peter Parker Spider-Man in future Venom sequels after he made a cameo appearance in Let There Be Carnage footage from the MCU Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, neither Holland nor his character appeared in this finished film, despite Adam B. Very later reporting in December 24 that, according to one of Sony's sources, the Walt Disney Company never precluded Sony from using Holland for their films, never having a feeling within the studio that audiences wouldn't accept. Holland's version of Spider-Man appearing in non-MCU films, especially after the release of No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, establishment the different boundaries of the MCU's multiverse. That December, Basile said they were playing stages of Venom 3. Sony Pictures confirmed the film was in development at CinemaCon in April 2022. Hardy revealed that Kelly Marshall was writing the screenplay after working on the previous Venom films and that he was co-writing the story with her. Hardy was set to be paid $20 million for his involvement in this movie. Circus was unavailable to Charles director due to his commitment to Animal Farm. which he had which had delayed to work on the recordings, but ultimately portrayed the character in Snow in the film. Yeah, Noel is a character known for creating, the symbiotes. You know, Marcel signed on in October to make her October debut with the film, which is expected to conclude the Venom trilogy. She also set to produce the film alongside Avi Avard, Matt Thomas, and Hutch Parker and Hardy, all doing their production companies, which I'll mention later. Hardy confirmed on February 23rd that pre-production work had begun. June Timber entered negotiations to join the cast in Unclosed Leroy in April, and Jared Pilat was cast as Rex Strickland. Sorry, when Temple was confirmed to have been cast. The film was released in October. The film features Noel, the king in black of the zombiettes, who was introduced to the source material in 2018. The filmmakers were always kept aware of the character. Besides, they laid foundations for Venom's character and relationship with Eddie Brock before featuring the Marvel supervillain. They looked for the Venom comic books by David Michaud, Todd McFarlane, Lenny Kurtz, and Ryan Steedman, the latter two being Noel's creators. Leading Sony to hire them for a relationship, allowing that at least case to read the screenplay. The film began on June 26, 2023, in Spain, in a regional park. The film was set to release on July 12, 2024. When the actor strike ended in early November 2023, they delayed it. Post-production in March 2024, the film was titled Venom with the Last Dance. And then they decided to release it in October 25th, which is one, my cousin's has his birthday's on 25th. The first trailer released in June confirmed Peggy Lou and Stephen Graham were responding to respective roles as Mrs. Chen, Patrick McGowan from prior Venom films, as well as Rice Films was in this movie. And no spoiler, even though you might think if you see the trailer, he is not Kirk Connors, the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man or Spider-Man No Way Home. He's a different character in this movie completely. Fernandez appeared in No Way Home as a bartender, and he does come back in this film. And if you know Ejor, the black guy in this movie, the black military guy, he played Carl Mordo in the MCU and the Doctor Strange movies. Yeah. For the movie soundtrack, though, let's see. Ugh. They do have songs like Queen, No Way Home. I mean, Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. Oh, Memories, Don't Stop Me Now. Wild World, Dancing Queen. You know, I had some help. Yeah. Visual effects provided industrial light and magic, which is redundant road effects for the film. And for the movie's marketing, you had the trailer, the teaser, and stuff, and the official trailer and all that, final trailer. I think they did a commercial with Venom hot sauce where you see Venom messing with hot ones, as they call it. Yeah. Oh, and I guess Pizza Hut did something for the movie as well. I didn't know that. Yeah, I guess for the third movie, Pizza Hut did some marketing too. Yeah, and like a hot sauce or something for Venom, whatever. Yeah, I didn't know Pizza Hut marketed this film. I mean, I know they marketed some of the Teenage Mutant Turtle stuff, movies, and the 2023 movie from last year, Mutant Mayhem. But I guess this movie too. But for the cast of the movie, you have Tom Hardy coming back as Eddie Brock, Venom for one more time, an investigative journalist who is on the host of Venom, and that includes him with superhuman abilities. Chadwick, yeah, Tom Hardy. I liked him in Inception. That's about it. I know he was in Dark Knight Rises as Bane. I thought he sucked as Bane. I liked him in Star Trek Nemesis. In my opinion, that was his best performance. Working in that movie, I like Star Trek Nemesis. Sue me, I enjoy that film. I think it's underrated. That's more of a better movie than this, in my opinion. And Tom Hardy, I thought was actually really good in that film. Yeah, and he was good in Inception as well. Chadwick Ord as General Strickland, a commander who was tracking Eddie and trying to capture Venom. His character in the movie, like I said, he was in Four Brothers. In Game from 2009. Was that with Harrison Ford? No, I'm sorry. No, it was not. I'm sorry. Thinking of the wrong movie. He voiced Scar in the Lion King remake, which didn't really care. Sorry, you're no Jeremy Irons to me. But like I said, he was Mordo in Doctor Strange 2016 and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So he's worked with Marvel before. Johnny Temple, that's Dr. Theo Ted Payne, a scientist in the film. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, she was in the. Oh, I remember her character now. Yeah, she was in Dark Knight Rises. Not much. She looks like, working with Anne Hathaway. Her and Hathaway, a little later, lesbos in that movie. Well, but not much of a role, but I remember her in basically just that movie. Rise Finn as Martin Moon. Like I said, Rise Finn was in The Amazing Spider-Man 1 with Andrew Garfield from 2012, playing Kurt Connors the Lizard, and in the Harry Potter film, and in a movie called The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and the late Gene Hackman. Little Nicky, yeah, he was the villain in that, playing with Adam Sandler. Yeah, that's a terrible movie as well, in my opinion. Stephen Graham as Patrick Mulham. He's a detective who was in the second movie. He returns in here. He was in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tales Untold, Pirates of the Caribbean, Stranger Tides. I think I remember. Yeah, he's playing that over the top silly pirate that tries to make out with a mermaid. Yeah, Peggy Lou as Miss Chen. She was in the first two movies. And Mrs. Chen, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I remember she had a cameo in that. Clark Balco as Sadie Christmas, a researcher. Anna Volk as Nova, Martin's wife and fellow hippie. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ralph Fake character. He's a hippie in this movie. Andy Serkis as Noah, the creator of the symbiotes. Like I said, Andy Serkis, Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit, you probably know him as Gollum, King Kong 2005 film, Caesar and Planet of the Apes. Yeah, and Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, he voiced Baloo. Great actor. I met the guy in Atlanta Comic Con, last year. I think it was last year. Yeah, February of last year. Really nice guy. Reed Scott, who plays Dan Lewis, he returns as the shadowy head of Imperium or whatever. Michelle Williams is not in this movie. I guess Reed Scott has a small part, but he doesn't return back as Michelle Williams' boyfriend in this movie. Michelle Williams, the love interest in the first two movies, she's not in here at all. Maybe she just got tired and was like, I don't want to do no more Venom movies. It's directed by Kelly Markle and screenplays by written by her. Saving Mr. Branks, Saving Mr. Banks. That was a good movie. Oh, 50 Shades of Grey. She was the script for that. Yay! Was that such a great film? And Corella, and then Ben Let There Be Carnage, and so I'm sorry, 50 Shades of Grey. We got somebody who directed a movie that wrote the script for that film, and that film was quite awful. She worked on the other movies. Choice by her and Tom Hardy. Produced by Avi Arad, who's been working with Marvel since the first Blade movie in 1998. And he screwed up. I think he just really is in it for the money. He doesn't give a crap, what Sony's doing. He's just in it for the money. I think in the beginning of the start of Marvel, he really cared, but Marvel continues. Seems like, from what I heard, the guy seems like a jerk. He's doing it for the money. Mm. Matt Tumlish, he did work on the Amazing Spider-Man films 1 and 2. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, first Venom movie, Morbius, and Villain Sans, and Craven the Hunter, which came out the same year, but Craven the Hunter came out in December. Yeah. Amy Bachir, let's see. She produced movies like Ghostbusters 2016, Busters, that's what I'm gonna call it. Spider-Man: Homecoming, The Post, Girl in the Spider Webs, in the Spider's Web. Yeah. Heard that wasn't very good. Little Women, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and she's also going to produce Spider-Man Brand New Day and Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Man Verse. Brand New Day. I know. I pray for Tom Holland, by the way, because I heard Tom like cracked his head or something. He got injured. And I pray for Tom. And I pray that he's doing okay. And honestly, I think Spider-Man Brand New Day. I hope it's going to be great, and I hope it's going to be a hell of a lot better than this movie. Just heal up, Tom. Heal up. Take your time and make a great movie out of it when you get the time. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, Beyond the Spider-Verse. I'm hoping that those movies will be better than this and Craven the Hunter, and they become so successful that it tramples these movies and Sony, and that they can't make no more movies. Cinematography is by Venom Wagner. Sorry, he's known for Justice League 2017. That's not Justice League. Oh yeah, edited by Mark Singer. Music is by Dan Deacon. Let's see. Mostly television, like The Changeling, Perfectly White, the mysterious appearance of Sherry Patton, Task. Film scores, other film scores. No, none of the movies I've ever seen. Sorry. Production companies: Columbia Pictures, Marvel Entertainment, Aaron Productions, Matt Thomas Productions, Pastor Pierce, Marshall Hardy Productions, West Parker Entertainment. Yeah, there's a lot of productions in the name. You can tell a lot of people were throwing their money in the pot with this film. The film was released October 25th, 2024 of last year, October 25th, here in the US. The budget is estimated by $110 million, but I'm guessing this movie has some reshoots probably. Every time I see it's estimated around, when I see it's like estimated around like that, I'm thinking they maybe do reshoots, or the movie got delayed a couple times because of the COVID, or well, COVID not really a thing anymore, but or just got somewhat delayed because they're trying to say let's release this, and because then you have some Madam Web that came out the same year, so they probably wanted to release Madam Web first because that came out in February, and then when it flopped, they're saying let's just do a little more work on the film, And the box office made $478.9 million worldwide. The film got mixed reviews, where they aimed at the story, while Hardy's performance, the action sequences, and visual effects were praised. I'm not praising any of that. The action sequences, there's nothing to praise about. I'm sorry. And these movies only made money because Venom is a popular character. I love Venom. He's a very popular Spider-Man character, but they screwed him up in live action completely. He is done better in the Spider-Man game, just Spider-Man from the PlayStation 1 game. Um, also, he's great in Spider-Man the animated series. You know, the alien costume episodes where you see Venom. Venom is great in those episodes as well. And fighting Mordo and working with Carnage in Spider-Man. Then I'm talking about the '90s anime series. Venom was great in that. Yeah, and also great in Marvel Spider-Man 2, the sequel to the 2018 game. We'll get more on that later. Yeah. So I guess Sony wants to continue making films with Spider-Man characters. Yeah. They were only successful because Venom is a popular character. That's why. And I don't know if people want to go waste their time seeing this movie. Yeah. It was just. It's not even a time waster at best. But anyway, let me get into the plot synopsis. Oh, and the film is about 109 minutes long, which is 1 hour 49 minutes. So he's at 40% of Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I would say like the Carnage would be worse, but this film is just as bad as the first two. So if you've not seen, guys, if you've never seen, sorry, come here. If you've never seen Venom: The Last Dance, yeah, sorry. If you've never seen Venom: The Last Dance or the first two movies, stop watching this review right now because it does have somewhat to do with that a little bit. Yeah, but if you've not seen Venom: The Last Dance, this is your last chance to go away. And I'm just kidding. I'll warn you again, but there will be spoilers in this review, as you should read the description box below. always read the description box below. Because when I say spoilers, and if you've never seen the movie, it's your choice to watch the video. Of course, I want you to, but just watch the movie first. But if you're not interested and you just don't care, I mean, not about my video, but about not seeing the movie, that's fine. Just stick around. So the plot synopsis time, like this is basically the final outing, kind of the end of Eddie and Venom, basically the end of their bond. Like they're basically on the run in this movie. They're on the run from the military and from a character named Snow, who's like the king of the symbiotes who created them, and he's out for revenge, and he can destroy the world in the movie. So Eddie and Venom are pursued by forces that both their worlds. They find themselves out of options and left with a shattering last resort. That means Venom has to make a great sacrifice at the end. They have to save a family. They have to save, Riley Finn's family, who are hippies, and deal with the general played by Mordo from Doctor Strange in the movie, who plays General. They all have to. It's a final fight, and a final goodbye between Eddie and Venom, and they have to save the world. And that's the plot for you. It's not much of a story in the film, you know, but that's the plot synopsis I'm giving you without spoiling it too much. Now you can turn the video off if you have not seen the movie. So, like I said, this film takes place after the events of Venom Let There Be Carnage. Where in that movie, Venom killed Carnage, and so now because of that, he's on the run. They think he also killed a police officer in the movie, so Eddie is also considered a fugitive. And this movie also takes place events not just after that, but after Spider-Man No Way Home as well. Yeah, because of Peter's, we could get into Doctor Strange the spell that everybody would know he's Spider-Man. That's how he came into being in this world. But anyway, the movie opens up with Snow, the creator of symbiotes. He recounts how he was betrayed. He was betrayed, and on Kolinar by his own creations, that was the symbiotes. So basically, he was the king of symbiotes, and he's in this invaded kingdom of darkness. He sends his X-No fans, X-Nos or X-Nos, whatever you want to call them, these big CGI creatures right here, to search for a codex. This is key to his freedom. And of course, who has the codex? Venom. It's on just like in the back of his neck. So codex. So basically, he wants to what? Destroy the world to get revenge on Venom, the symbiotes. They don't do much with his character. He just is after the movie, just talking half much, and Sirius does a good job with the voice, but they don't do nothing with his character. If this character's supposed to be a big threat, why can't Venom just face him at the end? He had to send his cronies to go do it. Oh, because he's trapped in the darkness. I'm like, okay. They don't do nothing with his character. It's, I'm sorry, but they don't do nothing with this. Sounds like it would be a great villain for Venom to face, but no. The movie just focuses on bad humor and bad jokes and a stupid story. You know, they start off promising, but then you fall apart within 5 seconds, within 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. And then we're in Earth's 1999, we're in Mexico, where he barks at a bartender, and they're talking about he's talking, where he's like, where we saw in, I think it was in the Spider-Man No Way Home, where you see that he left a symbiote behind, adding up to this movie. So he's talking to the guy, drinking, and they're talking about Thanos. He's like, "He put my family for 5 years." Like, wow, 5 years, that's a long time. And I did not care for Tom Hardy's performance in this movie. It was just a lazy performance. He really looks like he's bored out of his mind. Everybody that worked on this film looks like they put no effort. They put a lot of money into it, but they didn't really put no effort into it. Just trying to make it a big cinematic universe, big type movie. This is their third movie, and yeah, gotta make it a big deal. So he transfers because Doctor Strange he sends everybody back, yeah, all the villains back. But no, we can't have Venom face Spider Man. So what was the point of that shit anyway? Excuse the language, but what the freak was the point of sending him there and Venom wanting to kill Spider Man? It's like if you're thinking at the end of looking at the cards, I'm like, yeah, is Venom gonna go to his universe? Is Venom gonna fight Spider Man? No, nope, just blip for 5 minutes. Blips back to his Earth. I'm like, really? And besides, these movies don't have nothing to do with Spider Man. If you're gonna have Venom, look at my shirt, folks. You need Spidey. Okay. Yes. Say what you will, but at least in Marvel Spider-Man 2, it is a Spider-Man game, and Venom is there, part of the story, which makes sense. You know, yeah. With this, it is not. But he goes back to his Earth, to his own. Venom's like, let's make a Bloody Mary. Venom makes a Bloody Mary. And Venom's just obnoxious. I hate Venom in this movie. The scenes with him and Eddie are the awful worst part. And these are the main characters, the main protagonists of the film. And Venom never shuts the hell up. And he's just irritating. It's like they turn him. It makes me think of Herman Monster a little bit. You know, like they turn him into a big joke. Venom in the 2018 movie, in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 game, see, to the 2018 game, by the way, that's on PS4, that's on PS4 as well, PS5, PlayStation 5. Venom is more frightening, more threatening. Yeah, he's not there to dance and goof off. Venom is trying to use his symbiote to take over the world, and that was scary. You get more symbiotes in that movie. You get more of a true Venom in that movie, or in Spider-Man the animated series. Venom's voice is creepy. And the guy who voices Venom, he's just obnoxious. I don't care who did it because it's annoying. You know, the guy gets creeped out and was like, "Oh man, you're creepy, you got weird." So Brock leaves. He's on. He finds out that TV doesn't hunt for him, so they gotta go to the run. He says, "I'm gonna go to New York." That he murdered Patrick Mulligan, Mulligan, this detective from the second movie. You know, who Shriek got revenge on, but I guess they didn't kill him at all. They decided to head toward New York City. Brock wants to blackmail the judge so he can visit the Statue of Liberty anyways. Yeah, I guess he gets his freedom back. But on their way, they hear this begging of dogs, which he's somebody kidnapped dogs, I guess, dog fighting. These guys, they mess with him. And he's like, guys, let these dogs go home. Let them go home. And Tom Hardy sounds drunk, but he's like, I'm warning you. I'm warning you. And he cuts his face like, now. And they fight, and it's a lame fight scene, and then he says, we are Venom. And they keep making jokes about it. We are Venom. We are Venom. I'm like, this is just stupid. He buys her head off, but again, in PG-13, you do see a little bit of blood, especially with the Exno monster, who, you got the dogs following him, the Exo monsters following him as well. Oh, come on. You know what? I would say this. The Alien Queen from Aliens, I'm talking about the Aliens film from 1986, sequel to Alien, with Sigourney Weaver. Like, get away from you, bitch. That's much better. And the Queen Alien looks more frightening. The Alien's a little more frightening than this from Aliens. Like, even in Alien 3, as bad as that movie is, some of the aliens in that movie look more terrifying. Yeah. But they kill the guys or whatever. Venom bites their heads off and they walk away. Then you have General Rex Strickland. He sees the sample left over by Venom, talks to the guy, the bartender. They tase him. We never see him again. I guess they either kill him or they take him back to study him. Okay. We don't know. Then you meet Dr. Teddy Blaine. She had this character. She's a doctor, a scientist, right here, right there. Apparently, her brother got struck by lightning. This doesn't mean anything. This goes nowhere. I don't know why we had to give this supporting character a backstory. Oh, because of the ending, which I'll get to later. But we have to give her a backstory because she's got like bruise right to her arm, right to her neck here, right, being shot by lightning. I'm like, oh, it's her brother. I'm like, I just don't care. So she goes to work, talk to Rex, and they see that you find that the detective from the second movie, Patrick Mulligan, is alive. And he tells them about the creature that's coming. They'll come in a little bit. Their comment is going to end because it's Area 51 and Sadie Christmas. They're just doing tests and scientists. I mean, it'd be cool to see more of this, but we barely see half of it. You get more scenes with Venom and stuff and Eddie. Eddie is riding on the airplane, which, you know, yeah, a plane. And then since the codex is the back of the head, it's like the freaking Terminator. It's searching for him, trying to kill Venom. Venom had a little fight. You know, badly CGI fight. Venom They jump off the plane. Venom, uses himself like a parachute to save Eddie, and they're just talking to him. My world is after us about Noel and tells him about all that, and they just keep yapping, yapping, yapping on, and I'm like, it's just annoying. And then you get the scene where Venom takes over a horse, which is stupid. They jump up to a river. General Rex, General Strickland, his men, they show up to arrest Eddie Venom to apprehend him. They get into the river, which is a huge current, by the way. Eddie accidentally kills one of the people, feels bad about it. I'm like, why do you feel bad for about it? You've had Venom eat people, bite people's heads off, and now you feel sorry because you kill someone. I'm like, well, because that was Venom. Well, you had to because it was kind of self defense. But anyway, then Venom jumps into a fish, a frog. It's just bad fighting, bad editing going on. I didn't care for the amazing action sequences. I'm like, come on. Spider-Man 2 had better in the first Spider-Man movie. I will say this: the first Spider-Man, two Spider-Man movies, even Spider-Man 3 had better action scenes than this. You know, even the Amazing Spider-Man films, I think, had better action scenes than this. I think all the Spider-Man movies, including Tom Holland's, have a lot better action than this. This is just awful CGI. Eventually, Venom gets himself back caught onto Eddie's body. They land in the river. The creature comes. The creature like eats some of his men. Each of his like, I lost some of my people. We're gonna kill this creature now. And he's wanted to be in hot pursuit of him. But General Strickland just sits on his ass, just waiting. Eddie's walking. They question, Patrick, knowing him, and he shows his creature form, the symbiote that he is. Well, the Codex no one needs after Brock's during the battle with the Life in 2019 that the Codex would die if one of them is to it. Well, Brock determines to leave immediately. With Toxin. Toxin fully transforming those since the symbiotes coming in Area 51 with the expectation of Venom. He plays Strickland that either he's like the black one, that the Venom or his husband must die to keep the Codex. Because if Noah comes, he's gonna destroy the world, take over the world. Symbiotes will take over the world completely. Noah's he's really evil. Basically, kind of like Dark Sidious, the Emperor, a little bit from Star Wars. Strickland revolves to kill either one. Plane wants to, scientist plane. She wants to, yeah, destroy them. Eddie's walking on the woods, just talking to him like, "Oh, we just did that. I came over to kill someone." And they see Rice Finn, who's a hippie, and his character is obnoxious in this movie. Like, make love, not war, brother. And they tell him he's an alien through elevators. They like UFOs. They believe that. We're going to Area 51. We're going to the extraterrestrial highway. Eddie's driving in the car with him. They're going to take him to Las Vegas. They're singing, and Eddie's obnoxious. Yeah, this movie is just annoying, and they're saying this is if Eddie could have a family cliche, so we have time for that. With Logan, it worked perfectly, but with this movie, it doesn't work. Logan is more serious. Talking about the third Wolverine movie, that's a better film than this. At least that was rated R. This film, once again, these Venom movies, PG-13. Yeah, like I said, when the big creature that eats somebody, you see like blood coming out of his back. But it's like just it's getting eaten by a wood chipper. Might as well have your blood be like leaves or something or grass. What are And then the little boy says, "I don't like aliens. Aliens aren't real. You would be a good father, Eddie." You know. They made him to Las Vegas. He gives Eddie some shoes. Yeah. You know. Venom wants to see the Statue of Liberty real bad in New York, so that's what we're trying to get to. They go to Las Vegas Casino. The guy, the way Eddie's dressed, he's like, "Come on, dude, I'm on vacation." He's like, "Yeah." And Venom just turns his head, and Venom knocks the guy out. Venom, Eddie pees on himself, bitch slaps the guy, takes his suit like he's James Bond, walks in there, you know, he's gambling, he's just moving really fast. I think it was funnier on Bruce Almighty when, Jim Carrey's movie, Bruce Almighty, I'm talking about Jim Carrey, when he's flipping through the prayers, that's more funnier than this. Yeah, it was Dave's Odyssey, Bowie's Space Odyssey. Yeah. Oh yeah. This kid gives him a chocolate bar, which he gives to Venom. They waste $20 on a slot machine. Then they run to Mrs. Chan, which Mrs. Chan's wearing a dress. She looks beautiful in the dress, though, by the way. So she invites them up, and that's when you get the stupid scene, the Mamma Mia song, where her and Venom are having a dance. And this is just so stupid. I can't see Venom dancing. He dances in the second movie, too. He's rapping. And I'm like, just scratching my head. Scratching my head. Is why do these movies ruin film? Sony, you completely screwed up the Venom character. Yeah, you can just tell they don't care. I'm sorry, folks, but Sony does not get these characters done right. Like I said, Sony's Marvel Spider-Man 2, the character's done perfectly. Are you trying to tone it down for children? Because the MCU movies, because again, Spider-Man No Way Home made $1 billion at the box office. A lot of the Avengers movies, all of them, all four of them, made billions of dollars. So I guess the studio's thinking, no, let's keep it PG-13. Let's tone it down. Let's make the character a wimp. We can't have blood and gore in there. Even though Deadpool Wolverine came out in July, and that made billions of dollars at the box office. Again, these people that make these movies are stupid. Yes, they are, because they don't know anything about the Venom character. I might have read the comics, but I can definitely tell Venom is not a joke, a butt end of a joke of a character, and they make him foolish. They make him an idiot, and his dialogue is just obnoxious. And then, of course, the Xena, I want to call it, the giant CGI creature, senses the codex, jumps in there, he turns back into Eddie. But I'm like, he could have killed billions of people by doing this because Venom wanted to get his booty call with Mrs. Chin on, wanted to get his freak on with her. Uh, like, you're on the run and you have time for a dance. Oh yeah, when we find him in Las Vegas, yeah, like I said, the General Rex Strickland. So you're just sitting on your ass. You're not even. You don't have people you can work with who can track him down. I know Eddie was in the woods, but when it feels like it takes a little time. I'm like, yeah, just take your time. Coming after a fugitive, you're somebody trying to arrest and who you're so angry at for killing three of your men. You're so mad about that. You take your sweet time to get to him. You know, I would think, oh, well, we see the camera. Let's ASAP. Let's go. We'll go. We'll go. Like, wouldn't you have a team of men in helicopters looking for him, or people in cars, whatever, in the military, cars or a plane looking for him? You know, you know. But after the Xena leaves, Brock and Venom get captured. The Moon family then goes to a gas station. They trespass on Area 51. Even though the little boy is scared of aliens, scared of Area 51, he just sees a hole in the fence, jumps in there right away. I'm like, why would you do that if you're scared of aliens? But okay. Brock aways in his cell. He's betrayed by Mulligan and Toxin. Instructing him to enlist the ability to capture symbiotes in Area 55. He's like, let's get out of here. And Toxin's like, Venom, get out of here. Toxin gets eaten and killed. And, oh, everybody gets the same, including Dr. Sadie Christmas. She gets the Lasher character. Yeah. At first, Rex, General Strickland, punches Eddie. But then Venom's inside of her and Venom hits him back. He's like, wait, what? Then the creature comes up, he's running, and it's a big CGI fight. And, you know, the family gets scared. The Moon family's like, they're saying, yeah, son, this is great being here. But we'll love no more than they see it. There was two lines I thought that was funny from Rise Fenza when he says, he sees like one of the same stuff. He's like made out of fire get eaten up. He's like, motherfucker, and then there's another line of him saying he uses a bazooka to blow up one of the creatures, and the creature like I winks at him or just wink. He's like, sorry, and runs. I thought that was funny. There's only funny lines in the movies from him. And the doctor, she gets out of there after Klein gets out of there. Lasher falls out of St. Christopher's body twice. A lot of Simmons get killed, and Eddie's trying to calm the family down. It'll be okay. Don't be scared. And Venom's like, thanks for the trouble, buddy. And they say, your family, even though you've only known each other, what, for like a couple hours in one day, then you just see each other again here. That does not really mean your family, but I didn't see that. But they get them to safety, try to get the Moon family back to their truck. Eddie uses a bike to get the attention. Uh, Venom fights with it. Venom tells them that this is the end. We're not going to be able to see Statue of the moment where they have to say goodbye to each other. And you're trying to have a heartfelt moment, which I didn't feel anything, I didn't care. Venom, fights with the creatures. He gets him out of his body. Uh, and then, he gets him under this tower, which, the general, even though Strickland's been shot, like in the stomach here, he pushes a button and you get Nickelodeon slime that kills these creatures. And we're supposed to be feel sad. And I was like, good luck, buddy. Goodbye. This is goodbye for now. For a while. Eddie, you know. And then Venom dies, you know. Yeah. And then there's another symbiote that's alive that Slane has in her, scientist Slane, Blaine, whatever her name is, Blaine, has in her pocket. Like I said, with the brother story, didn't go nowhere, but apparently it does because if she turns into a symbiote herself, and she super speeds like the Flash and super speeds her out of there. Okay. So are we saying for if they were going to make another movie or a new movie, she's going to be the next Venom? Okay. Yeah, Agony. So the big CGI explosion happens. Venom dies. The creatures die, and Snow is stopped from coming because the Codex is destroyed. Yeah, and in the process, the Doctor dies, and I mean, General Strickland, Mordoff from Doctor Strange, he dies in the explosion. Of course, we think that Venom does. It ends like kind of, we thinking, and at the end of Hulk 2003, when we think Bruce died, but he's alive, of course, he wakes up saying, "Buddy, buddy, you're there," and it's military officer like, the charges have been dropped against you for the murder, for you saving your country. You saved the world, Eddie. You and your friend Venom will let go. But don't breathe the word of this or you'll be in prison for the rest of your life. And you see Eddie walking. Think of, moments from the first two movies. He had moments. So I'm like, he's like, I'll miss you, buddy. It's for you. And he gets the bartender found his way to Area 55. Oh, Snow declares that no longer safe. Plans on killing everyone as Brock watches. So he declares revenge, even though you kind of lost it. The Codex was destroyed with Venom, and Venom was destroyed, I guess. Oh, well, I guess that sample of Venom, which I didn't really see, don't really care. Yeah. So I guess I said that I didn't really care. Yeah. Because again, they're probably not going to make another Venom movie. But they'll probably try, though. Hopefully not. I can see them trying that because this movie did make money. I just hope this is the last Venom movie we'll get. And that was the end of Venom. Saying goodbye to Venom and all that. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't care. I'm not going to see it. But, that was the end of Venom at the beginning with him at the end and then the end credits and all that stuff. Yeah. So, anyway, so let me get my final thoughts on Venom Last Dance. This movie sucks. I hate Venom Last Dance. This was garbage. One of the worst comic book films I've ever seen. Why? Get to why. I didn't see that end credit scene with the bartender because I don't care, and I don't care about this movie. First of all, the story sucks. Yeah, they're on the run. Most time, there's a lot of bad humor going on. Them being on the plane, being in Vegas was stupid. Him dancing with Mrs. Chen. She looks good in the dress, but the story just was not interesting. The film is boring. The humor sucks. The direction by Kelly Markle, her direction is terrible. So she worked on the first two Venom movies too. She'll be a great director. And 50 Shades of Grey, yeah, because I'm sure that was a great movie. Yeah. That also just starred Dakota Johnson, who starred in Madam Web, which also sucks. Yeah. Cinematography, cinematography didn't even look that good. Come on, I've seen better looking cinematography. Okay, some of the cinematography, when they're out in the woods, looks nice. And in Vegas, Vegas does look good in the cinematography. Some cinematography in the movie does look good, but the CGI I think is terrible. Yeah, I think the visual effects are awful. The action sucks. It's just really bad, awful CGI. Editing is terrible. Fight scenes are awful. Music score's forgettable. These songs they put in here, I'm like, "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen. I've heard it better. And Sonic the Hedgehog or Shazam. I'd rather watch both Shazam movies over this. I'd rather get a third Shazam movie than a third Venom movie. That didn't deserve to flop. Shazam Fury of the Gods is better than this. Yeah. But at least one thing, the movie does go by at a good pace, I think. 109 minutes, it felt like it went by a good pace. It feels like the movie's rushing to end it quickly, and I didn't feel anything for the ending when Venom died. I didn't feel anything. I didn't care because this Venom was a joke. Hopefully, this killed off these movies for good. So, Sony, congratulations. You ruined Venom. Yes, you did. The only reason it was successful because it's how it's Venom. That's why, because it's Venom. Venom, Venom. As long as it's Venom, you get the title. That's all you need. Popular Spider-Man character, villain. I would say he is. Yeah, just because the title. But this movie is nothing. It's trash of a movie. It's just more garbage. You know. Yeah, these films are just awful. All three movies suck. If they're gonna bring Venom to the MCU, don't bring Tom Hardy back. Bring another actor back. Make Venom scarier. And have somebody who cares about doing the character justice. People could say, if you want to say that Topher Grace about no, Topher Grace was, I would say, just as bad, as Tom Hardy's Venom. But we just see his face and him make a sexual joke about Mary Jane, a sex joke about Mary Jane, and just showing his face. So we don't really get Venom in Spider-Man 3. It's just Topher Grace and black makeup, black covered face, black makeup around his head and stuff, you know. But I will admit the music score for Venom in that movie was better. And when it turned to Venom, that did look pretty frightening. But we don't get Venom fully in that movie. But I will say this though, when we do see Venom in Spider-Man 3, we sadly don't see his face a lot, just one of Grace. But if we did, it probably would have been more frightening. But if it was not Topher Grace, different actor, Venom could have been awesome if Sam Raimi gave a crap. So in live action, he sucks. But if you want to play the Spider-Man one, the Spider-Man game from PlayStation 1, I'm not talking about Intellectual, but the first game of that where Doc Ock is the villain in that game, Venom is done better, much better. Spider-Man the animated series, the alien costume, watch those parts. You know, just get Spider-Man the Venom Saga on DVD. That is definitely a better Venom story. That is involved with Spidey because again, you cannot have Venom if you don't have Spidey. Spider-Man, Venom to be involved in the story, you have to have Spider-Man. Without it, what's the point of having this character without Spider-Man? You cannot have Venom without Spider-Man. It just doesn't work, in my opinion. It completely fails on that level. Every aspect of it fails. These films suck because they ruin Venom. If you're gonna make a Venom movie, make it rated R, bloody and gory. Don't tell me it'll work. Well, the Deadpool movie, especially Deadpool Wolverine that came in this year, last year, it's 2024, last year, made $1 billion. So don't tell me that a Marvel movie that's rated R can't be a hit. The Deadpool Wolverine was, yeah, and that was a longer movie than this. That had a better story. That was more entertaining, more bloodier, more fun than this. Oh, this film's trash. But yeah, so I'm not ready for Venom Last Stand. And the cast, I didn't care for the cast either. The whole thing with the scientist and her backstory, I didn't care about. They didn't do anything with it. What was the point of that? You know, the story, is not that interesting. It feels like the film rushes in. Uh, you know, Chiwetel, if I can't say his name right, I butchered it. Mordo, his character is nothing in here. Just seems like he's doing it for the paycheck. For the cast members in here, Ryan Fenn just looks like he's smoking or completely out of his mind doing this movie. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be a hippie while doing this movie. His performance is embarrassing. He's great, I think. In my opinion, he's great as Dr. Kirk Connors' Amazing Spider-Man. But in here, oh, it's just an embarrassment. Yes, I'd rather take the lizard. The CGI for the lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man is better, in my opinion, than any CGI in this movie. Yeah. But this movie is stupid, lame, boring, and awful. Just like the all first movie. These Venom movies suck. I'm gonna give this film a thumbs down. I'll miss some of the cinematography is a little nice, and Mrs. Chen looking at that dress. I'll give it 1 out of 5 stars for that. That's it. For Mrs. Chen's dress. Because she looks beautiful on it. But that's it. Yeah. But the scene, the humor with her was not good. But she looked great in the dress though. And some of the cinematography in the film does look nice. That's it. Again, my rating for Venom The Last Dance, I'm gonna give this film 1 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Venom The Last Dance in your opinion? Alright, the next review, guys. This film is the 58th film of the DC Universe Animated Universe of movies. And I did review part 1 not too long ago. But now I'm going to be reviewing, the next review will be Watchmen Chapter 2. Watchmen Chapter 2. Hopefully tomorrow, or Sunday, or Monday probably. I don't know yet. But Watchmen Chapter 2, this will be the next review, guys. That is the 58th. Make sure I'm reading it right. Yeah, this film came out in November. Yeah, 58th film of the DC Universe. Okay, and this part came out in November. Yeah, so. And then my next one's review after watching Chapter 2 will be Raven the Hunter, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, and another Sony Spider-Man Universe movie. I'll make it through it. Just one more crappy film to get through. But yeah, and then we'll do 2025 movies, which I'll explain later. Just 3 movies. I will not be reviewing the new Superman movie, or the new Fantastic Four movie, or the new Bat. They got another DC animated movie out, but I will not be reviewing it. I think my last DC animated movie won't be Watchmen Chapter 2 though. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, my rating for Venom: The Last Dance is 1 out of 5 stars once again, and a thumbs down. Awful movie. And my next review, guys, again, will be the 58th film in the DC Universe, animated original movies universe. That will be Watchmen Chapter 2. Coming up next, Watchmen Chapter 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.